I am here today with actor, writer,
Wow.
director, producer,
Wow.
prolific voiceover artist.
Wow.
And I'm honored to call him a friend. You can see him on stage as one half of the dynamic improv duo Middleditch and Schwartz. On the big screen, he is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Road trip? Whoop whoop!
On the small screen, he's played every iconic blue retro cartoon character. So we got Dewey.
Okay, here goes nothing. Ow! What is up with this stupid library?
We got Leonardo.
And keys to the roof.
And then again, Sonic.
I'm wet. I'm cold. There's a fish on my head.
My friend and yours, Mr. Ben Schwartz.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, everybody, please stop. So much applause. That's so insane. And in post, you put in applause?
I think so.
That's incredible. You guys can stop. Everybody, Jesus Christ, take it down a notch.
In Canada, they don't really applaud.
Oh, okay.
They kind of smile silently.
Yeah.
politely,
Just a quick little
smirk. Take us back to like young Ben, Saturday mornings, pajamas, big bowl of cereal. Like, what were your like go-to cartoons?
Let's talk about go-to cereals first.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
You can.
First of all, this is before I knew I was lactose intolerant. So we have a huge. I would use a Tupperware thing instead of a bowl.
Okay.
I was a maniac. And we have our. What's the chocolate version of the? Is it Cocoa Krispies?
Cocoa Krispies.
It is Cocoa Krispies.
Cocoa Krispies.
Yeah. Cocoa Krispies.
I know. It's like
Very much
a
Cocoa
book
Krispies.
on my bookshelf in the kitchen.
Cocoa Krispies?
Take out the Cocoa Krispies.
Yeah. Take out the Cocoa Krispies. A little bit of that. My favorite cartoons growing up were Disney Afternoon was huge. I know it's not Saturday,
Right.
but it's huge. That was huge for me.
I'd say it still counts.
Okay, good. And in my block, because there's lots of blocks. There's a Gargoyles block. There's a bunch of different blocks. Mine would be, we have DuckTales, we have Tailspin, we have Darkwing Duck,
Okay.
which meant a lot to me.
Yes.
Gummy Bears was there as well. All incredible theme songs, too. Also
all those-
Turtles. You and I know a lot about Turtles.
Of course, we can't leave out TMNT.
No, and I had the toys for Turtles. It was amazing. I was a huge Team NT fan.
Of course, the good guys win, the bad guys always lose, which is the classic, even looking at something like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe! Can you think of any of
Are you
your
allowed to watch that? Because it's a real American hero.
Yeah, for Canadians.
Did you guys have a real Canadian hero?
We,
What's the comparable G.I. Joe for Canada?
I believe it was Rocket Robin Hood. The Canadian equivalent.
I thought you were going to say Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
Our G.I. Joe is Rocky and Bullwinkle.
And now,
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
It was Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah,
perhaps,
of course.
The Canadian Mountie. But for like Saturday mornings, thinking back, like, who were your favorite villains?
Well, there's different versions. Ones that I was scared of and didn't really buy the toys of. Shredder was terrifying to me.
None of us is safe as long as Hamato Yoshi and his turtles roam the sewers.
But I think it was because the movie made him so scary to me. And I was a kid, and it was my first sleepover was that movie.
Oh my
We watched
God.
that. It must have been VHS.
It's like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, and I couldn't go to sleep the whole night. And I was the only person not asleep, and I wanted to go home so badly.
For me, it would definitely have to be like Batman the Animated Series.
Oh my God, so many good villains.
I am the terror of Gotham. I am the Scarecrow.
I think Batman villains, in terms of me, if it was live action, in terms of me playing live action, those villains to me are like the juiciest. It's like, oh, those are so fun. The Riddler especially, and
Yes.
Joker, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like those look like so fun because they look like human beings and then flawed human beings. And as you get older, you see like, oh my goodness, there's so much to play there.
So like flawed human beings. Do you think like, I know that you had mentioned you have little experience playing villains in the
I get
animation.
cast as more good guys than bad guys.
Okay.
In animation.
But you said flawed humans, which is pretty interesting. Do you think like that's the reason why, especially now, and you're on MODOK?
I am a MODOK.
Time to change the world by bringing it to its knees. Attack!
MODOK, one of Captain America's most notorious villains, has his own series.
That's a very deep villain.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
MODOK is a very
Absolutely.
deep and intricate villain.
And especially the way you guys have taken it. I've watched, episodes of MODOK, and just the one where he's kind of like talking to like a future version of himself.
He's
and having
amazing.
Unbelievable.
So funny too.
Yeah,
And also the way he looks. The idea that is they gave that villain a series is the funniest part of that, in my head.
A giant face with arms sticking out of his ears.
Unbelievable. I feel like also the things that are being made are more deep in that sense as well.
Absolutely. I mean, again, like going back to MODOK and this age that we're living in, where we're actually now focusing more on the villain. Like, I mean, if you're looking at something like Despicable Me, or even like any version of Harley Quinn, or like Suicide Squad, or MODOK, now we're putting more focus and attention and giving the spotlight to a character in the entire like lineage of just storytelling in general, that normally wouldn't get that much attention. Like, why do you think like that is?
You know, at the beginning, all these heroes and villains are invented, and we really do the hero stuff, and then we're still making stories about these people. What's another way in? What's a fun way in? So Maleficent is another fun way in, or like do a movie about Scar from Lion King, or it's like, or like all those things. Like, you look at your characters and you're like, well, what about this side of the story? Right. I think that's how it kind of started, finding a new way into these properties that everybody knows.
Absolutely.
I think as we've gotten older, people have found that people are interested in the darkness also. And so I think that's aiding all these villains. Like Joker, that movie made $1 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're cooler. Like, the Freak of the Week is cooler than
you want to play like those people. You know what I mean? Those are the fun ones. The Joker to me is so fun.
That's my cue.
I was gonna say, if you could like look back at your even in the animation career, like which villain would you like to play?
Oh, that's a great question. For animated, I would Joker and Riddler would be really, really fun. Can we talk about yours? Who have you played?
Okay, I'm gonna say, if we're gonna focus in on me, I'd say Marvin the Martian is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, by the way, and also kind of a villain, of course, for Bugs Bunny a villain, but also then the more you learn about
definitely adversary, but yeah, the more you learn about him,
the more he's just like a kind of nincompoop.
This could take a while, folks.
You know what I mean? Like
typecast again.
Marvin,
like,
amazing.
Nincompoop. Bauza. Yeah, Marvin, Bugs Bunny. You know, like, he was against...
The greatest villain of all?
The greatest villain of all time,
I mean,
Doc.
he is for Daffy Duck.
Those evil teeth.
Yeah, well, Daffy Duck, he's a questionable...
Bugs Bunny is Daffy Duck's villain.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Bad guys have villains, too. And Daffy Duck isn't a bad guy.
He's just a little selfish.
Elmer Fudd, probably Bugs Bunny's villain.
Anyone...
You can do Elmer and Bugs, can't you?
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbit.
That's an evil laugh.
Can you do a Beetlejuice?
You know, I would, but let's save that guy for later. Good enough for Universal Studios.
Beetlejuice a villain?
Oh, absolutely a villain. At least in the film, a complete sleaze and shunned by the nether.
Using people to try to get back?
Right.
So he's not doing anything for anybody else?
Yeah, and in the cartoon, he was kind of like, you know, Lydia was kind of like, we have to kind of hide him from the parents and stuff like that. And if you're going to talk a little bit more serious, Tiger Claw from the 2012 TMNT.
Who the heck is that?
You may call me Tiger Claw.
I knew it! I was totally gonna name him Tiger Claw.
He was kind of like the henchman to Shredder that was like, if you're going to have, you know, Larry and Curly, he was the Mo. He was like, he was no nonsense. You know, a cross between like Han Solo and Boba Fett. He collected the weapons of the people that he's...
Yeah.
And, you know, if you look at that 2012 version of TMNT, it got pretty dark, and, you know, it was definitely one of those characters for me that, again, you look at me, you don't think 8-foot-tall mutant tiger. You think that...
I do.
Oh, thank you. Usually I get the kid from Up, Russell.
Hi, Mr. Fredrickson. It's me, Russell.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
basically, that's me in a nutshell.
Got it.
I'm going to sue Disney, actually. I'm going to walk up to them.
That was you?
Yeah, I did all the mocap.
And you have a dog just like that.
But why don't you think you aren't doing more villains?
I don't know. I haven't been asked as much. I'm sure I've auditioned for a bunch, but I haven't been asked. I've been asked to do many villains. I wonder why. I would be down. I think I did it. Oh, I just did one for Central Park. I think I did a villainous character, and it was so fun because he was a big, like, I feel like a lot of my voiceover stuff. Well, Sonic is pretty energetic and stuff like that, but There's always a lot of real moments, and then there's these happy moments and stuff like that. I love playing the whole thing, and I think that's how you shade a character to make people care about them. But this is like a small, quick little, huge, enormous, take over the world type whatever, and it was so fun.
So as a performer, like, how fun is it for you to like get to put on those evil,
so fun,
the evil cape?
It's fun. I think I feel like if I'm being super comfortable, it's me being a version of a happy, enthusiastic, or false confidence, or like cocky ignorance, or like not even knowing that he's not nailing. Like John Ralphio in live action is like, he thinks he's nailing it, but he's not at all. Like he thinks he's crushing it though. Yeah. So like that type of like not even knowing he's a screw up. That's fun.
So that's kind of like a great way to like look at a villain, right? Because he's in the villain's point of view, they think that what they're doing is fine.
Absolutely, and that's what the shading you're talking about is like. They think they're helping the world sometimes when, in fact, like, they're hurting it. Thanos erasing half of the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
He thinks that his philosophy
that
is
he's
like the way
helping the world. Yeah. Is there a villain that you never play? Is there a villain? Do you have a list of characters that, if you could play them,
man, if I could, I mean, I've gotten to play Two-Face. I always go back to Batman exciting. Because it's again like for me. Like,
what does your Two-Face sound like?
Well, it wasn't too far off from the Two-Face from. Wasn't too far off from the Two-Face. I was trying to do like a double voice thing, but it's almost impossible. Oddly enough, Two-Face from Batman the Animated Series was voiced by Richard Mall.
Really?
Bull Shannon from Night Court.
The comedian?
Yeah. Watch it back, and you will be astounded. There are people on that series that you're like, they've got like really good dramatic
Did Hamill play
acting.
the Joker on that?
Yes.
Yes.
And how blown was your mind when you found out
Insane.
Luke Skywalker was the Joker?
And an incredible one, too.
And ruined it for everyone else. Like, you can't be
He's
the
amazing.
Joker now.
Yeah.
And no one's as good as Hamill.
And people say I'm crazy. Say, is it hot in here or is it just me? Harv, open that door so we can get a breeze.
Good idea.
No!
I'm not saying we're rooting for the bad guy, but I just have this weird feeling that when people like see the bad guy, it's almost like they kind of relish in it, or it's almost like seeing someone make mistakes so they don't have to do it. But there's also like a weird part of it that I feel like people enjoy it.
I think there's a lot of stuff you want to talk about in this. Is there someone inside, like therapy-wise, you want to chat about?
This is literally I need help.
Yeah,
and
tell
I'm
me.
calling
I'm here.
all of my friends.
This is why we're here. This is an intervention more than anything. Tell me what you feel.
I feel like they get a bad rap.
Women?
Cartoon female villains.
Oh, you're worried about literally specifics of cartoon women.
The condition of the female cartoon villain.
Okay,
yeah.
good, yeah, do it.
I feel like, there needs to be a little bit more, and
good.
We're not getting there.
Good,
so,
great.
Yeah.
Is that what the show's about?
This whole show.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Only about cartoon villains.
Okay.
6 episodes.
Wow.
So I hope you're available next week.
Am I a guest every week?
Every week. So we have to change clothes, unless you brought clothes.
I just have this.
Okay. Well.
But a week. I have a week to get a new pair of clothes, I guess. New set of clothes.
There is a Target just at the end
Can
of
you
Hatteras.
Can you do Winnie the Pooh?
The villain for Pooh Bear.
Oh, Eric!
Look, the villain for Pooh. Clearly, pants.
Tigger, right into Tigger.
This is something that we used to do in the booth, and then something we did at the back of a golf cart at
Comic-Con. By the way, remember Comic-Con?
Oh my gosh.
At Comic-Con, right? At Comic-Con,
yes.
And in the booth, one of my favorite things, because to me, I consider myself a voiceover artist. I've been doing it since 2003. A lot of commercials at the beginning, and never getting a role for a very, very long time. Then finally, slowly getting stuff. My first one was on Tron, and slowly getting stuff like that. But I look at someone like you, and I can't do what you do. You're able to do so many different voices. I could do versions of myself, but like. You can transform. So one of my favorite things to do with you is to name people. Some that you do,
okay.
Some that you don't do.
All right.
And just see without any prep to go from one to the other to the other.
Okay.
But this is what I'm gonna change for this one.
Oh no.
This one you have to be telling a story.
Okay.
And the storyline continues, but when the character changes, you have to change voice and continue the story. Okay. So I want the story to be about what you're gonna do today. Just not you, Eric, but whoever you're gonna do today.
Okay.
and then you change it. Because also the other thing that's amazing about Eric is that the voices are incredible, but he also knows exactly how all these characters speak text-wise. So it's exciting to see how you play with all that. So let's start with Marvin the Martian, just because that's who you start with it, and then when I name another one.
Okay.
Also, I wonder how many I can think of. All right.
Hopefully only 2.
We'll probably do 10. We'll have it on the board.
Oh, no.
We'll call it the Big 10. This is called the Big 10. Maybe every episode ends with you doing the Big 10.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not really gonna be a guest every episode, am I? No, it can't happen. Can't happen. I have too many mosquito bites.
Yeah.
All right, ready? This is called the Big 10. This is called Canada Presents the Big 10. Okay, here we go. The Big 10. Canada Presents Canada Dry Ginger Ale, introducing the Big 10. Sponsored by frickin' Horton.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. Get your little donut bites. Get your little donut bites. Go to A&W, get yourself a breakfast sandwich. Okay, ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Number 1 on the board. Number 1, Marvin the Martian. This should be easy.
It should be easy, Earth creature. I'm heading to Earth to blow it up because it blocks my view of Venus.
Snarf from Thundercats.
Oh, but then after I get there, I don't know who to talk to. Cats are humans.
Mark Hamill's Joker.
Well, if you're gonna talk to cats, you might as well talk to bats.
Oh, that's great! Templeton from Charlotte's Web.
Templeton from Charlotte's Web.
Do you remember that? The little rat from Charlotte's Web?
Was it Paul Lind?
Yeah?
Oh, well, I'm so glad you brought him up. Templeton.
Milhouse from The Simpsons.
My mom thinks I'm cool.
Oh my God.
Bart, I got a milk mustache.
Tweety, you can do Tweety.
Ooh, milk. Milk attracts cats. I thought putty tat. Oh, it was just enough.
Scrappy Doo, you were right, Scrappy Doo.
Puppy power. I'll punch a cat in the face. I don't care.
Megatron.
Starscream, you idiot!
Oh my goodness.
That's the only thing I could say in Megatron's voice.
Starscream.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, first we have to take a pause and, pay homage to the late, great Chris Latta. If you remember this episode of Seinfeld where Kramer's being chased after having won big at the horse track, there's a criminal, there's a guy that's chasing him on the train.
Is it that?
That's Starscream.
Oh my goodness.
But Megatron, you have to split your voice into or put more glass in your scrambled
That's
eggs.
insane. How about this? Luis from Bob's Burgers. That's Kristen Shaw's character.
Gosh. Oh, Kristen Shaw. Oh.
She's kind of...
It's almost like...
That sounds like Lisa Simpson.
Yeah, no, I know we could do a Yardley Smith.
But maybe Kristen Shaw...
I'll give you Bob. Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, well, H. John Benjamin, of course, who can't do Bob? It's all about the flipping of the burgers.
Last
the
one.
Airplane.
Sonic the Hedgehog from the movie.
I'm cold, I'm wet, there's a fish on my head, and this has been Ben Schwartz, everybody.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you guys are really clapping.
We're doing it. Send your claps in the mail to
Oh yeah,
Ben
and
Schwartz.
let's give your home address so people can send your...
Just like the name of the show.
You could click right here for Eric's home address. It's just a link back to your clothing. Thank you very much for having me. I find you to be unlimited talent. Phenomenal cosmic powers.
Itty bitty little
living space.
Itty bitty living space.
I found you to be unbelievably talented, and what you do for the field, I think, is just like you're the next generation of people that we watched. I feel like coming up that can kind of do everything. So I'm in awe of what you do. Happy to be a part of the show, which is called. And you'll put that in there, right?
Hey guys, Eric Bauza here, the host of Stay Tuned. If you like that video, be sure to check out these videos. Or they might be here. I don't know where they're going to put them. Somewhere in this vicinity. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.